Hello and hi.
Hello, Cribs. Welcome to my room.
Kids, it's time for another action-packed episode of Cribs.
Real talk. Let me explain this video. The room that I'm currently standing in, it took me a long time to get it to the way it is. And while I'm in the middle of working on some bigger projects, I've also been doing a lot of organization in the background of my life and cleaning out my photos, cleaning out physical things, and I've gotten to the point where I'm almost done, and I found a lot of pictures on my computer of how this room used to look.
It looks a lot worse than it actually was. All the random items were hoarded in this tiny room, and there was a lot of decluttering and reorganizing every so often to get to this end result.
It was a mess. It was a gigantic mess, if you can believe it. So that was that, and now I actually have it a lot better. This specifically I like to call as like my little studio area, studio craft room. I honestly hate the word craft room because I feel like it's for older women that don't have anything in her life to look forward to. I don't mean that in an insulting way, but when I think of a craft room, I think of Glee.
You usually don't let me in your craft room.
Isn't this fun and challenging? You know, it's really hard for me not having the things that I need.
That's what I'm trying to avoid, because this is obviously stuff that I use to make awesome things. And I like to think that I have some really cool shit. So I figured, let me take this time, let me show everything off that I have. It's still a work in progress. There's still things that I like to have in a different space, but what I have going, I think, is really awesome. Honestly, this room is really small and I have a lot of stuff in it. But let's break it down to sections because, like I said, as you can tell even just from what's in my background, I'm really proud of the stuff I have. I've featured Kylo Ren in a lot of videos before. So I have my cardboard cutout Kylo Ren that I love and adore. I love Kylo Ren. If you haven't known already, I'm sure it's obvious at this point. I love Kylo Ren. But the funny story of how I got this, I actually got it because an old friend of mine that I'm not friends with anymore used to work at Hot Topic, and so I was able to get it before they threw it away. And this is literally one of my favorite things ever. It's really cool. I love it. The great thing is I've been able to use him as a prop in a lot of videos, and will continue to use him as a prop in a lot of videos. He's awesome. Now if I could only have a cardboard cutout of Loki, that'd be amazing. And I got my two loves together. And then I have over here, so this is a painting that I did back when I was in college for a stage crew class. And we followed how to make kind of like scenery. I think it looks really awesome. And I know there's a lot more paintings here, so I did follow what they were doing. Like, I didn't come up with this on my own. I feel like it's pretty obvious of how much of an artist I am, and I love my art, so I do have a lot of paintings along my walls. I did paint this myself. I've made this from old videotapes, and this is one of my favorite things to do, is to paint horror films on VHSs and make them into art. I'm really proud of it. I love Ghostface, and I still, every time I look at it, I just think it's so cool. So this is one of my favorite pieces that I've done. It's pretty obvious that I'm a really big Disney fan, if you couldn't tell. So a lot of the art that I have in here is related to Disney in some sense. There's some stuff that isn't. That caricature that I have was drawn when I was at Disney as a kid, so it still counts. Ignoring the ring light in the frame, an old ex of mine got this poster for me, so I'm really excited that that was one of the gifts that I got. I didn't get to see it in person. They did, and they got it signed, which I wish I could have seen it in person, but amazing film. I'm so sad that it's never gonna get a third film because it deserves it so much. It's like show and tell with my artwork that I did. I wanted to be able to show a better view of this. I ended up finding a piece that was printed on canvas years ago, like Bed Bath & Beyond, and it was literally just a picture on canvas, but it had a bunch of beach town names, and I wanted to make my own version. So I ended up going down the shore, picking up a bunch of wood on the shoreline, brought it, hot glued everything together, and then got some stencils and did my own beach towns. And these are all beach towns that are, of course, very important to me. I'm a really proud Jersey girl. The goal for that picture is hopefully in a future home space, we'll go into a bathroom. I don't have the space right now for it, but in the future, I want to put these in my bathroom. They all go within that nautical theme. And this is really cool too. I really love this framed because I ended up finding an old map of Florida. One time when I was at punk rock flea market, I love to go to punk rock flea markets. Someone was selling an old map of Florida that I bought. This is from the 1930s. So this is literally before any indication of any theme park or any destination was even in existence. And so I love this so much. I love history. I love the 30s, the 40s aesthetic. So this was amazing and I treasure this so much. I'm a really, really big collector, as you'll soon see, as I have a bunch of random collections. This is a bunch of pins that I have. I will give a better look at it, but this is my pin pillow that I've collected a bunch of random pins throughout the years. There's definitely way too much to really focus in on, but you can see an overlay again. A lot of Disney pins, a lot of free pins that I've gotten. Also, stay tuned because this will be nostalgia that will be featured in a future video. Jonas Brothers fan here. I think I got these at Justice back in the day. I love that I have this little Macy's Santaland pin from 2009. Wow. That's crazy. It's been that long. Remember when Six Flags used to put on concerts? The one day they had a Christian concert, so they were giving out these pins, but hey, free pin. I got this at Comic-Con for free. It's pretty iconic. I got that one at the Jonas Brothers show. Also, R.I.P. Warped Tour. Please bring that back somehow. I miss Warped Tour so much. I don't even remember where I got that one, but I love Fairy Tail so much. It's one of my favorite animes ever. Here's something completely random. Does anyone remember FredFlare.com? It used to be huge back in the day, and I would go on it, but then they ran out of business.
It's my birthday, you missed it. Don't worry about the cake and the
The hold this website and all their videos they made had on me back in my high school and college days. Now looking back, I can see that they were true trailblazers for the hipster movement happening. I miss this.
So normally I keep it stored there, and then of course you can tell this is like middle like supply crafting corner. I have a big pile of fabric that I have not done a lot with yet. Want to get back into it. Need to be better at sewing. And then I have ideas, but I haven't been able to execute them yet, and I'm still not a great sewer. I have a bunch of random supplies for items. Some of them make sense, like as you saw in the corner, I have a bunch of spray paint for painting. I have acrylic paint for painting, but I have a bunch of things that I've accumulated from other people or I've bought in the past. The funny story behind a lot of the stuff that I do make, I used to work for Vera Bradley for a good amount of time, so a lot of the things that they were getting rid of, I was able to take instead of it throwing away in the trash. So I'll point out as we continue what things actually came from Vera. Our store shut down, so that ended my time working for them. But the one thing that was really cool was their budget for props. Any advertising in the store, they tried to be creative. So I got a lot of really fun things out of it. Never expected it to be that way, but that's how it went. There's still so many things that I don't even know what I'm gonna do with yet. But that's why I've tried to keep them as organized as I possibly can. And anyone that has a craft room, I'm sure you understand it's the same way, especially when you have a limited space to work in.
Within these are ribbons, more ribbons, so many beads that I want to make into fashion type projects, stationery, starfish and random letters from Vera. One of the best tools I've gotten, it's a hole punch for metal and other harder materials. Insanely useful. Stickers and styrofoam, seashells and rope, all the nautical vibes. And then we have even more fabric drawers. I have a lot of different fabrics that I still have to figure out what I want to do with. I have all my spray paints, all of my acrylic paints here. This is an old bottle that I took from my dad's liquor collection. I want to turn this into a lamp. Same thing with the bottle here. They would be amazing lamps. This is a mishmash of items. I have a bunch of bags that I took from Vera, so they wouldn't throw them away when our store was closing. My iron. This is some of the props that we had from Vera. Back when we had the Harry Potter collaboration, this went along with those. It was a hideous Mandrake collection that no one liked, but these are great to use for something. Completely random ideas, but how adorable would these be as earrings? There's 2 of them. So I just gotta figure out how to make them into earrings and have them dangle, so it could be a whole look. This is where I keep all of my perler beads, and I love making perler art. This is an example of some of the perler art I've made. So I don't do my own patterns. I find patterns online because I'm just making them for my own personal use. So I'm able to copy along with what I find on Google and then just add some flair. I still have to finish painting this frame, but this is Ibichu. And if you're not familiar with Ibichu, it is an amazing, terribly adult show. My best friend introduced it to me and I adore it so much. And if you haven't seen this, please check it out if you're old enough, because it's very raunchy, but very fun. And you wouldn't expect it from how it looks, but no, it's very raunchy and very fun. In here is just a bunch of different pens and colored pencils. We got some stamps here. I got one that I got from a Japanese store I found in Boston. It was an anime store and they had a lot of Studio Ghibli stuff. I have Gigi here, and the other stamp they had was Tomo, which I love these 2. Also am a huge fan of Kiki's Delivery Service, if you couldn't tell. You get the gist of this. This is my supply corner. I'll also point out too that I have a small collection of old cameras that are amazing. Majority of the cameras I have gotten from family, but I do have ones that I also found from Punk Rock Flea Market and was able to add to my collection. So I have a lot more in the other corner, but this is one that I have, and I am determined in the future when I have more time, once I get some of this projects done, to start learning how to use these and finding the film for them so I can start shooting analog again. This is my computer that it runs on Windows XP. So I love having this because I have so many games, or physical disc games, as I've talked about before. If you watch the introduction to gaming video on this channel, I'll put the link in the description if you haven't, because I also go into more of the games that I have to show off. So this is where I film, and I am still working on trying to get it to record right off the screen, but it is an older computer. So I'm still working on that because I am not an expert. I also have my sewing machine that I really barely use. I need to use a lot more over here too, because the desk is great to use. And my dad built this for me. I designed this desk and I painted this desk, but my dad did the actual building years ago. So I'm very grateful for this. I think this is such a cool piece. I love that it still has the gallery look to it, but wait for the best part. Ta-da! I love this thing so much. I'm so happy that we installed the LED lights. It looks so cool. But wait, there's more. I love black light. So I got my little black light corner with the lights. Like, come on, how chill is this? This is like one of my favorite parts about this room. And you can see above there is another piece of perler art that I made and then added some effects too. I had all these old Nintendo coins that I used for a former ex's birthday. I gave a Nintendo theme, so I had all of these left over, and so I was able to use them for this, and I love it. I think it adds so much to it. That is definitely another
favorite piece of artwork that I have made. Welcome to my music corner, which of course you've seen in the background for one of the most recent videos that I just did, where I was talking about the music that influenced me the most. And if you haven't seen that one, link is also in the description below. My standard record player combo, it's a record player, CD player. The CD player sadly doesn't work anymore, and I'm so sad about it because, as you see, that's my CD collection. And then underneath that is my record collection. So I have a lot less records than I do CDs, but it also connects to Bluetooth. It's one of those 6-in-1 players, so it's really awesome. I have my Disney Lego that I just built. If you are interested in seeing it built, I also did a video on that, so link in the description as well. Here is a better look at more of the older cameras that I have. You can see this one still runs. I have a little knockoff Audrey 2 that I got as a little decoration. So I have some Marvel dolls here. We got Stanley in the corner, and then Captain America and Black Widow fashionista style dolls. Over here we have my Monster High Elvira. I'm so excited that I was able to get her. You don't know how hard it is to get some of the Monster High collector edition dolls. I wanted to get a couple more and they sold out just like that. So I'm very, very excited that I got Elvira because she is an idol to me, and this I will treasure. I will also point out that this is my box of wigs. They're all wrapped in Ziploc bags. That's the most organized I could figure out how to do it. If any cosplayers have better tips for organization, please let me know because I don't. I haven't been able to cosplay because I haven't gone to any cons in a long time, like a couple of years. And so that's something that is definitely, I want to get back into this year and go to more cons again because I miss it and I love cosplaying so much. I love dressing up. I have a major list of cosplays I still want to accomplish. And so of course I have like a bunch of wigs for the various outfits and characters I want to do. Now we're in the little book corner here. Woo, and yes, my giraffe. So let me show off my animals first. This is Palermo. Old friend of mine got this for me for a birthday present. I had no idea, but I love it. And I've featured these animals before. I love how it's like a random plug for me to promote my old videos, and I apologize, but I don't, because I think they're awesome and I think my stuff's awesome. So if you're curious, I did a video where I did a bunch of weird children's workouts years ago, and these guys both made an appearance, including my puppy also made an appearance, and I think it's really funny. So link in the description, please go check it out if you haven't seen it. I got a giraffe. His name is Georgie, and I have a bunch of random hats on them just because I don't really know where to put my hats, so they work on the animals. And then I have a penguin, and I named him and I forgot what I named him, but this is legit a penguin that I ended up taking from Vera years ago. If you are a fan of Vera Bradley, they had a winter collection which was all penguin designs. I'll put a picture in there. And it was really popular. It was a really cute collection, but they ended up supplying all the stores with these giant penguins, these smaller penguins. And these are from this company Fiesta Toy, so these really aren't expensive. But these are Douglas brand stuffed animals. And if you're not familiar, Douglas brand is a very expensive toy company. So when we were able to get rid of them, and we wanted, our store was going to donate them to a children's hospital, but unfortunately no children's hospital in our areas wanted them because they were sitting in a store, and so they were worried about any germs. So instead I was able to find a preschool because there was 3 of these, and I was able to donate them to a local preschool. And obviously I kept one because they're like $100. So it's completely unnecessary, but I didn't pay for it and I love it. And it actually is a perfect Christmas decoration. So it sits in here most of the year, but then when it's time for Christmas, he's hanging out with the stockings. So this is a section of books that I have down here, and then I have more books on a bookshelf that I built out of VHS tapes in my bedroom. The top shelf is just a bunch of random trinkets, toys, and snow globes. If you couldn't tell that I was a 90s kid with the Hello Kitty and Beanie Babies, you can judge my books here. It's kind of random, but I do plan on reading these. I've been really bad about reading. So this is on my list this year to be able to read a bunch. I got adorable Haunted Mansion snow globe here. And it has bats and I love it so much. A little octopus skeleton and then Hocus Pocus. Both Zachary Binks because I love Zachary Binks. If you couldn't tell I'm a 90s kid, I'm a 90s kid. We got Powerpuff Girls. We've got American Girl books here. We got more Powerpuff Girls and a bunch of Disney books from the 90s down here. And here's my big flower again. And yes, this is a prop that I did get from Vera Bradley as well. I love it. It's so random, but it reminds me of Alice in Wonderland, so I'm here for it. Do you ever have random plushies from your childhood that you don't know what to do with that? That's what we have here. If you couldn't tell, I was obsessed with the Powerpuff Girls growing up. These are some of the most obnoxious, weird fitting stuffed animals plushes that you could imagine because they have gigantic heads and tiny little bodies. So they're completely lopsided. They don't really sit well, but I can't get rid of them. I feel like they're so special. Example, there you go, but they're adorable. They're so cute. I love them. I'm a Bubbles girl. That was my favorite, but obviously like all of them are amazing. 90s kids represent. And then finally back full circle. This is the other thing I'll show off is my bulletin board with a bunch of my pins. These are mainly horror pins and Broadway pins. And yes, I did spray paint this bulletin board, but look how pretty it looks. You can tell that I'm both a horror and Broadway theater kid. We got our Beetlejuice pin, Sweeney Todd, Some Like It Hot, which is still, like I mentioned every single time, so underrated. It's closed way too early. My friend got me this Seymour Audrey 2 pin. This is one of my favorite pins I got for free. Danny DeVito and Sunny in Philadelphia is amazing. And this is just a random pin that was given in a swag bag for Punk Art Flea Market, and it glows in the dark. It's so cool. Mr. Creepy Butthole, which I adore. We got some Ghostface, Six Flags Fright Fest. Also a criminally underrated musical, and I also made a video of that, so you know the drill, link in the description below. We gotta represent Six Flags. We got some Safari pins here. David S. Pumpkins, one of the best characters ever made.
Any questions?
Got a Mooby's pin. Also got that at the Mooby's pop-up that I went to years ago. Link in the description. So we're back to where we started. This is my little studio area. And obviously this is only a section of my cool things that I have. But I hope that you enjoyed it. This definitely is a very personal look into my life and who I am. So cool for getting introspective here. Let me know in the comments below what are some of your favorite things that you own. I think it's awesome. I think it's fun to share and to talk about really cool things or really cool shit. So leave your comments. I'd love to read them. And until then, there's a lot more bigger projects along the way coming soon, and I'll see you in the next one.